Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Coffeechannel. Steve's at guitars. I'm going to talk about something a little bit different here. This piece really pretty much explains about Coffeechannel. This is last call for investors for Coffeechannel.com. The idea behind it is a social network based on the second largest commodity in the world. The second largest commodity in the world is coffee, which is a 90 billion year industry. Most social networks are just kind of boring and like spreadsheets. They're not very artistic. So we're going to reinvent a new category in a social network that's going to kind of have the vibe of this piece of music I'm playing right now. It's going to give coffee drinkers and lovers a place to call home and make friends. It's going to have promote unknown musicians. And the natural brand equity behind coffee is massive. Not only is it a 90 billion a year industry, something like 30 billion cups a day are consumed. The whole idea, though, like I started studying the internet way back in the 90s. I used to be a domain name broker, and I could see the writing on the wall. And the internet has created a massive repositioning. On many different levels, but the internet's the biggest business revolution to come down the pike in years. And cable TV is dying. I've been saying this for over 10 years, and it's happening. On a good month, somebody like YouTube maybe has 36 billion views as opposed to network TV maybe 20 million. But the writing's on the wall. It used to be the convergence was in full swing between internet and TV, but TV's dying, and it's repositioned. And if you look at as I was studying the internet for the last 10, 12, 13 years, I could see it happening. I could see companies buying up like DisneyChannel.com, FoodChannel.com, GolfChannel.com, Tennis Channel, Weather Channel. All these names are now worth billions associated with their website. So the long and short of it, I have a business plan you can look at, but I've got the Chinese coming over actually in this December to talk to me about it. And I've been working on this for years, but recently I have a lot of interest in this. One of the reasons is if people invest before the end of the year, there's certain tax advantages. But the long and short of this idea, and by the way, Bill Hudson, who produced Father of the Bride with Steve Martin, said, "Steve, you have a hit." I met him. I bought some high-end studio gear from him. We hit it off on the phone because we both meditate, and we just hit it off. So he said, "Steve, I'll drive from my Malibu recording studio and meet you in LA." So we did. And as I was buying his Hafler 9505 power amp, we started talking about Coffeechannel, and he said, "Man, Steve, you got to hit there. That's a really, really strong idea." And I've talked to many other internet experts and whatnot. Bill Hudson produced Father of the Bride with Steve Martin, but he's a highly skilled entrepreneur. He told me about deals he did with Disney and just really, really some interesting, fascinating stories he had to tell. He used to be married to Goldie Hawn. He's Kate Hudson's father. But bottom line is, Coffeechannel.com has massive brand equity. The key to investing and the key to getting into something that really has what I call market magnetism is you're not going east looking for a sunset. Coffee is already the second largest commodity in the world, being 90 billion a year. Coffeechannel.com has built-in brand equity. It's got market magnetism, meaning it's not a bubble, it's not a trend, it's not a wave. It's got market magnetism because, look at the internet like a mega. It's pulled and restructured all of the components of business. It's completely redefined business. And a lot of people, like I said, that started social networks were just programmers like Facebook. Personally, I don't like Facebook. I find it really boring. It's not artistic. There's a gaping hole right now, or a gapping hole, however you want to say it. There's a huge opportunity right now for a social network, which is the quickest way, by the way, to billions in profit. But there's a huge opportunity right now because of the massive brand equity already existing in the coffee business. And Coffeechannel.com is going to be a social network that's going to give coffee lovers a place to call home, make friends, promote unknown musicians. It's going to be artistic. It's going to have, nice music like things like this. But people always look at great investment opportunities after they've hit and made a ton of money for everybody, like one of Mark Cuban's early companies. So the key is to understand the elements and components of it now. And like I said, this is the last call for investors. I think I have this thing almost wrapped up right now. I've got a lot of interest right now. Like I said, with the Chinese coming over. I actually met them through I have a couple places, one in Ventura and one here in HB. I rent a place here in HB, and I actually, through talking with my landlord, who's an entrepreneur, and we've kind of hit it off, he actually has connected me with some Chinese investors I'm meeting with. But anyway, if anybody wants to get involved in coffeechannel.com, get in touch with me soon. You can email me at stevezook, the number 7 at yahoo.com. That's STEVEZOOK, the number 7, not spelled out, at yahoo.com. I can send you my business plan. I know it can be a little overwhelming, so I'm happy just to kind of summarize it. But the bottom line is coffeechannel.com is going to leverage off the second largest commodity in the world. It's going to give coffee lovers a place to call home. And this is the key to something which really has massive potential, because you're not reinventing the wheel. All I'm doing is tying together components that already exist. I'm tying together components like the massive coffee industry, 90 billion a year, social networks, the need for people to make friends. We're all in the people business. We're pack animals. Coffeechannel.com integrates all these massive, strong, natural components into something. And one of the keys to marketing is sharing emotions, sharing what makes us all human, which is the need to talk with other people and make friends. So, this is really, I've had some extremely brilliant entrepreneurs give me a thumbs up on this. People that have big companies and they're very, very sharp and own, 30 patents and whatnot. I won't go into a lot of detail, but I've had a lot of people. So, if you have any interest in getting into something, it's probably going to be, talked about at Harvard Business School in the future. And I've got over 10 years into this, but it just, I guess, persistence is omnipotent, right? So if you have any interest in coffeechannel.com, get in touch with me now, because there's tax advantages for you if you invest before the end of the year. I'm talking to people all over the world right now about this. It's going to come together. It's a funny thing in life. So you work on a project, and you work on it and you work on it and you work on it, and all of a sudden something just kind of clicks. It's hard to explain, but I think people are realizing that for an idea to be really viable, it needs to be organic. It needs to have the cool factor. I talked about this with Bill Hudson, who, like I said, produced Father of the Bride with Steve Martin. It has to have the cool factor. Coffeechannel.com has the cool factor. It has it in spades. So the main thing is, don't overthink this. Don't get into paralysis through analysis. That's why a lot of people, miss out on some really great opportunities. I have a friend who invested $160,000 in Microsoft in the 80s. He did really, really well. He's never told me the exact number, but I think it's north of $30 million he made on that $160,000 investment. But anyway, like I said, coffeechannel.com is going to create a new category of social network, because it's based on a 90 billion year industry. It's going to be organic. It's going to have the cool factor. It's going to be very positive for promoting unknown musicians. It's going to be cool, and it's based on coffee. And so if you have any interest in investing in something that really could be powerful for you, get in touch with me soon, and we can. I'm not going to twist a bunch of arms real hard. You either see it or you don't, but I'm happy to answer questions. But this piece of music really pretty much sums up the vibe of coffeechannel.com right here. I feel coffeechannel.com is going to sell for anywhere from 10 billion to 30 billion. It's going to do really well for everybody. So if you're interested in talking with me about it, get in touch. Steve Zook, the number 7, not spelled out, the number 7 at yahoo.com. And